Well, let me just start off with a challenge to the press and everyone in attendance. Try to find a more diverse political group gathered in one place in the history of the United States Congress. And I'm honored to be here with Senator Lee, now the lead sponsor on the Smarter Sentencing Act, Senator Ted Cruz from the Senate Judiciary Committee, and of course the ranking Democrat on that committee, Senator Leahy, Senator Booker, Congressman Roel Labrador, Congressman Bobby Scott, and I believe Congressman Massey? Massey, thank you for being here as well. And I think Senator Lee has put his finger on it. We want to keep America safe. We want to make sure that dangerous people are arrested, convicted, and put behind bars. But we don't want to overdo it if we don't have to. And the reason is, it not only has a direct impact on these criminal defendants, their lives and their futures, it costs a fortune, billions of dollars that could be spent to prevent the commission of crimes and to make certain that we have the most effective prosecution, sadly is put into long and lengthy prison sentences, which really don't square up with the offense. So we really deal with one particular category of offense here. We're talking about drug offenses that don't involve guns, don't involve gangs, don't involve violence, but offenses that are wrong and should be treated as wrong, but should be squared away with mandatory minimum sentences which reflect the reality of the situation. I was listening as Senator Lee talked about meeting one of his constituents. I had a similar experience a few years ago with a hearing where I met the brother of Eugenia Jennings, a young woman, teenager, who was a crack addict with three small children, on her third offense selling crack to buy food for her children, was arrested, convicted, and sentenced to over 20 years in prison. Over 20 years for selling what in fact was a handful of crack. That sort of thing is totally disproportionate to the wrong that she had done. She was fortunate. Her sentence was considered by the president. She was released. She's since passed away from cancer, but she spent the last year of her life with her three children on the outside. When I met with her in the federal prison in Greenville, Illinois, Eugenia Jennings looked me in the eye after serving 12 years for those three little containers of crack cocaine and said, "Senator, if I get out of here, I promise you, I will never do anything wrong the rest of my life." She kept that promise. It was a short life, but she kept that promise. Our exploding prison population eats up a quarter of the Justice Department's discretionary budget. These runaway expenditures are undermining our other law enforcement efforts. U.S. Attorney's Office and the DEA have already lost hundreds of positions, and resources for state and local law enforcement have decreased dramatically. It's time that we act quickly on this bipartisan legislation. I think it is a critical part of restoring our system of justice to where it should be, keeping America safe, serving the needs of justice, but making certain that the excesses come to an end.